everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. So today I have a book haul for you. I haven't done a book haul on my channel since I think May, so that's quite good. You know, I've collected these books throughout, you know, a few months now, so I'm going to say that's not too bad at all. So the first book that I'm going to start off with is my only non-fiction book that I have to show you. That is Elizabeth in the Garden by Torille Morton, a story of love, rivalry and spectacular design. I actually got this book for two reasons. One, my avid love of history, and two, my father's avid love of gardening. Basically, the premise of this book is it's about the gardens that were created by people like Robert Dudley and Robert Cecil, who were extremely close to the Queen, and the gardens they created for her splendour, basically. I want to read it from the historical point of view, my father's going to read it from the gardening point of view, and then we'll come together and have a good old chat about it. That seems like so much fun. The next two books are kind of more modern for me, but you know, we can roll with it. The first is the Jane Austen Book Club by Karen J. Fowler. Now, let me know, has this been a film? Or, I'm pretty sure I've seen a film of this. This is about 6 people in America, and they come together once a month to discuss Jane Austen's books, and their kind of love and their relationships all get kind of tangled up Jane Austen style. I've basically been reading a lot of Jane Austen recently, and I've absolutely been loving her work, but Jane Austen is one of these people where I have to take her books really, really slowly, and it takes me like a couple of weeks to actually read, so I wanted something that was kind of Jane Austen-esque, but a bit of a guilty read, so I thought I would give this a go, and if I love it, you know, new guilty pleasure read. If I don't, just goes back to the charity shop. The next book I got, I have to be very honest with you, it's The Mistress by Jessie Burton, and I saw this in Waterstones, and it was on the table, and I thought, oh, that is so pretty, and I turned it over like on the blurb, and it says on an autumn day in 1686, and that was kind of it. I thought, oh, historical fiction. Other than that, I don't know anything about it, but I know a lot of people have been reading this lately and heard some quite good things, so I'll give it a go. Now on to the classics. So the first book is Thomas Hardy, The Return of the Native. I own Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. Haven't read it because it is a bit of a depressive book, but I think I might read this one first. Any Thomas Hardy lovers, let me know down in the description, down in the comment section, if I should read this before Tess of the D'Urbervilles. This, I believe, is about 2 people who were kind of quite close, and then he went away, and then he came back, and they get married, and then it's not what they expected it to be. It's about the illusion of love. It doesn't sound as depressing as Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Then I picked myself up from a charity shop, fresh from the country. This is a Miss Read book. I'm trying to collect as many Miss Read books as possible. I think I own 2 others. I want to get to her earlier work, but this one is really sweet because when I can find some, it actually has some little pictures inside. How quaint. Isn't that sweet? This one, I believe, is about a young woman who goes from living in the countryside to a suburban town to become a teacher, which is quite ironic because Miss Read, although she was anonymous, she actually said that she was a teacher, so yeah, looking forward to this. I then picked up a couple of the Red Spine editions. The first is The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. I own Sally's Manor and Middlemarch by George Eliot. I haven't read either of them, but saw this and thought, yeah, this sounds really nice. It's about a brother and sister and their kind of life growing up and what they kind of make of each other's decisions and stuff. It's really big. It is quite big, but yeah, I'll see. I'll get round to it eventually, but when is an issue. I then picked up The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I have been watching Easy A recently, you know, the film with Emma Stone, and I love the film. I think it's so good, so I thought I need to actually read the original text. And I did try to read it once before on my Kindle, and it didn't go very well. You know, sometimes when you read a book and sometimes you're like, okay, I need to read it on my Kindle to kind of get through it, but sometimes it's the other way around. This, I think, was the other way around because I just couldn't get through it on my Kindle. But this is basically about a woman called Hester Prynne, or I don't know. And she commits adultery, and as part of her punishment she has to wear like a scarlet letter A on her clothing to show that she's an adulteress. Then I picked up Belinda by Maria Edgeworth. This has been on my wish list, my Amazon wish list and my Goodreads wish list and Book Depository wish list, every single wish list under the sun for years. But then recently Ron Lit did a video where she talked about this book, and I was thinking, I wanted that book for so long, I now have to get it. And I did, and I believe it's about a young woman called Belinda who is kind of just coming into that time of her life where she's going into the marriage market and the kind of marriage season, and apparently it's quite comical, so I'm really looking forward to this. I then picked up 3 Edmund Crispin books. These are absolutely beautiful. So I picked up The Case of the Gilded Fly, Buried for Pleasure, and Holy Disorders. These are all Gervais Fenn mysteries. The most famous one is The Moving Toy Shop. I'm just going to talk about the first one, which looks really interesting. Look how beautiful it is. I'm like, oh, it's gorgeous. But this one is about Gervais Fenn, who is an Oxford Don. He's sat in his college room and then some woman gets shot and he has to find out who did it. I love these editions and I think they're so beautiful and I think they're going to look amazing together. So I'm going to read these and see what I think of them, and then might try and collect and purchase the rest of them in the set. The next book I actually still have in its bag. Great preparation there. But it is Murder Underground by Mavis Torille. The reason why it was in the bag was because it was one of those purchases that I made when I was in like a shopping centre, and I was thinking, oh, I just want to go home with a book that I've purchased today and just sit down and read it, but I ended up coming home, sitting down and falling asleep. So the intention was there. So this book is part of the British Library Crime Classics. I own a couple of them, and one of them that I own is another one by Mavis Torille, which is this one. This is Death on the Cherwell. I picked this up because I really like the sound of it, and then with this one I thought, oh, I own a book by her already, and I started to read it. And I got about 3 pages in and I thought, yeah, I'm just going to buy it now rather than just reading the whole thing in the shop. But this is about a murder that is committed on the underground system in London, which sounds really exciting. So can't wait to read this. And Mavis Torille wrote her books in the 1930s, which is obviously a period which I absolutely love. So can't wait to read these. And finally, I did treat myself to this beautiful copy of the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie. This, as you can see, is a facsimile edition of her original work. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that a couple of months ago I read the ABC Murders for the first time and I absolutely loved it, hence why I decided to treat myself. I love the facsimile editions. What I love is when you open them up and you read them, it feels like you're kind of opening it up for the first time back when it was first published and reading it just along with everyone else. It's amazing. I just love that feeling of reading in that way. I don't know if that makes sense. And I love reading my facsimile editions when it's winter and you've got a hot chocolate with little mini marshmallows in and a facsimile book, and it's perfect. So that is my book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. What I will do is I will leave the links for all the books that I talked about down in the description bar below, so you can go and check them out further if you would like. Subscribe to my channel if you are new and you like the sound of my channel, history and classics and vintage. And I will also leave my Twitter and my Goodreads down there below so you can check out what I'm doing. So thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you soon for my next video. Take care for now. Bye!